Wednesday, November 29th, 2023. And the View started today with a hot topic about, I, I don't really know because they rambled through that first hot topic all about um, the primary, who's the Republican nominee, and the Koch brothers, I guess, endorsed Nikki Haley, which must have given Amy Alyssa Ferry Fowler Griffin a little boner because that's her girl, um, for whatever reason. And like, who's picking these fucking hot topics? It's infuriating. Why do we talk about the fucking Republican Party so much? Um, and in as if they're a legitimate organization. It's just like, it's infuriating. They have a madman who is basically they're running their party that they're all kowtowing to. Amy Alyssa isn't telling us anything we don't already know, that they hate him in private, but they praise him in public. They're fucking hypocrites. They're destroying the country, and they don't even really want to fucking govern. So, can we talk about something more productive? Um, and and things like, Joe Biden was out in Lauren Boebert's district, touting something that got built or was funded through the Infrastructure Act that Lauren Boebert voted against. And that is exactly what the kinds of things that the Democrats need to be talking about, but then saying very specifically, while you're there, Papa Joe, and I don't know, I didn't see his speech, but while you're there, you should say, this is all because of the Infrastructure Act that your congressperson, Lauren Boebert, voted against. If you want to see more of this kind of productivity and Washington providing, better jobs and better support for the American people, then we need people like whoever is running against her. We need to tie these things together, and we need to show that the Republicans are not there to help us. But what's her name? The Sarah said something that just infuriated me about how these states that matter, and then she named Iowa and New Hampshire, and it just, I'm sure I've talked about this a million times, fucking pisses me off. Iowa and New Hampshire as the two first states in the primaries is fucking ridiculous. They're like 98% white people, and they shouldn't be deciding front runners in presidential elections. They're it's and the whole media idea that if you don't do well in Iowa or New Hampshire, you're fucked, is such a terrible message. South Carolina hasn't voted for anything yet. No one in the South has voted for anything yet. No one in an urban center of any import has voted for anything yet. Like, these two fucked up states shouldn't get to decide how it goes. I would love to see, and I know this is just a pipe dream, I would love to see the entire thing condensed. The election is in 2024. No one should even be able to announce that they're running until January 1st of 2024. Right? Fuck all this. And then they can campaign, and we can have all the primaries at the beginning of June, all at once. Every state votes on primary day. And then, just get it all over with. And then you can have your convention in the summer, and campaign until election day. It's just ridiculous how long this goes on and how much money it takes. And people would say, oh, people can't fundraise enough in the amount of time. But too fucking bad. You shouldn't have to run a campaign for 2 fucking years. If you can't figure out a way to get yourself a national name, we have a bazillion outlets on television and online that can get your name out there, so that by the time you announce you're running for president on January 1st, 2024, that you should have some name recognition and be able to pull in donors. If you haven't been able to do that, then you shouldn't be the president of the United States. If you haven't figured out a way to get your message across through the bazillion media outlets that we have and opportunities that we have, then you shouldn't be president of the United States. I'm infuriated by the whole thing, because it's not fair. I think it would also help whittle down how many people are going to run. We don't need a field of 17. Um, but yeah, and the debates start immediately. And I don't know how much. And people say, well, you can't get the ground um, uh, teams in place that quickly and all across the country all at once, and you can't. Well, you know what? Then you're going to have to do it smarter. You're going to have to find a way. I just don't believe that the candidate needs to come to the diner in your hometown to talk to you to get your vote. Like that's ridiculous. You should be able to form an opinion without having, to have some media circus come to your little podunk town and and say a bunch of platitudes that don't really mean anything. Um, so I don't know. I'm frustrated by the whole primary system, and I'd like the whole election process to be shorter because I'm tired of the fact that we've been talking about 2024 for a year and it's not happening for another year. Um, and the second it's over, we start talking about the next one. It's too much. I tell you, it's too much. So that's what I'm mad about today. Oh, by the way, the stuffing I had for lunch yesterday wasn't actually stuffed into anything. It was the leftover seasoned bread. So there's no poisoning in that situation.